This haul was really important to me because it gives me a lot of things that help me cook and take care of myself throughout the month. So I went to Target first because I went to Safeway earlier because they have strawberries on sale and corn. But on my way back, I wanted to get a couple things that I really needed, and they had their Good and Gather kale in the bag. It was only $3.49. So serious. And I can put like some of these in smoothies. I'll take out half and I will steam half of it and eat it throughout the week, and then put the other half in the freezer and use it for smoothies. So this is really good. A lot of times, a lot of these stores don't have the good products, you know, that we're used to having, and that's kind of a bummer. I got spinach because I'm going to be making a recipe from Spain on a Fork, who I like. I love this guy, Alberto. He has wonderful recipes, and it's canned salmon. I got canned salmon at Target for $2.39, which is within my price range. I cut the recipe in half. It calls for 2 6-ounce cans, but I'm actually going to use just one and do in 7 ounces of spinach. So I'll do about half of this bag. I think this is about 9 ounces of spinach. Yeah, so roughly about half this bag, and then this can of tuna. And then I'm going to make some more yogurt tonight to make Greek yogurt, because he uses Greek yogurt in a lot of his recipes, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of the Greek yogurt. It's called, it's salmon and fettuccine and spinach. So if you look up the salmon recipes over there, I probably will share it at Lori Jean Fenella, LoriInTheKitchen.blogspot.com. Let's see, so that was it for food. Oh, I got tongs. I got these for $3 because my other ones broke, so I'm hoping they will last me for at least a year. And what I will do, the other ones that broke weren't from Safeway, but Room Essentials, Target. I trust Target a lot. So I'm back into making bagels, and I'm back into the kitchen because I got parchment paper, and I wouldn't spend the almost $5 on the Reynolds wrap, and it's even more than that at Safeway, because Safeway is known to have higher prices. Reynolds is a great name, but you know, if you can't get the the brand names because they're so expensive, Target usually has an up and up for about $3. And it might be more feet than this, which is 30 feet, the up and up, but they didn't have any, so I ran up to Safeway, and when I saw it for $3, I wasn't going to get it because I thought I could probably get it cheaper, like at Winco, Walmart, but it was on sale for 50 cents. It was only $2.49. It had like a coupon under the app, and you know what I'm finding? A lot of the prices are kind of combining throughout, like, let's say Winco, Walmart, and like the store brands at a lot of these more expensive places. So I don't have to necessarily run far out on the bus to go to Winco to get a lot of this stuff, and I was really trying to do that. I want to roll out some more cheese crackers today and some more granola bars. So I really need to have this because it doesn't come out shaped as well unless I press it really hard. And I press it into, let me get the pans. Sorry about the noise. I press it into a couple of these, and these are Curtis Stone pans. And what helps me having a couple of these is I can half my recipes. Instead of doing an 8x8, I'll do like a couple of these, and I'll like trace a non-toxic pen or something around this, cut it out, and fit it in here and press it real hard, and it can come out. But a lot of the recipes, if I can't cut them in half, I won't make them because they're too expensive for me to make. I'll use up like a lot of my coconut sugar or honey, and a lot of these things are hard for me to keep in my pantry. Another thing, when I went in there to look for the parchment paper, I found some up and up freezer bags, which I ordinarily will have to run all the way over to Winco. Now there might be more bags at the one in Winco, but I can't imagine much more. And if I remember correctly, I think this was only $2.59, and 30 freezer gallon bags is enough for me for the month. I'll put in like breads that I've made, donuts, pizza slices, because if I use really large like Tupperware type containers, it takes up my freezer. My freezer's not that big. I'm only allowed to fill it with the rules where I live, and really everyone should watch how much you put in your freezer, but I'm only allowed to fill it like maybe 2/3 on the part that is the main compartment, and then of course there's the doorway, and then up by the ice cube tray area. So I really don't have a lot of room in there. And they also had the quart size ones, for 40 of them, the freezer ones. So I mean, I think if I didn't get the freezer ones, which a lot of people just get the regular ones just to have them, and I completely understand that, I think I get maybe 10 less baggies or 5 less baggies. It's not that much of a price difference, but it was in a way that I felt really grateful to only pay $2.59 for these two. And I mean, I've been washing and rinsing out the ones I have because I had to go into Eugene yesterday to have my mouth looked at, and I had no idea what the cost was going to be out of pocket. Where, I mean, you never know with me. I have so many injuries, and my body's been so beat on from abuse that I never know what's going to be presented ahead of me next time I go see anybody medical. But the nice part of it all was that everything just flew in colors, and the only reason it flew in colors, and I'm going to get more into the problem that I have with grinding my teeth, is because my friend Tonya Lambert, she's over at Dina Poodles over here. I hope I have that right. Dina Poodles. Yes. Dina or Dino Poodles. Darn. I'll put her link. But she really talked to me for a long time about making sure that you don't settle for less with your medical. And it took me a long time to get to that point, which if you follow me at all anywhere, I got to the point where I really put my foot down, and that's with respect for myself. And that's where, of course, I did a lot of good things for myself to get to that point, spent way too much money, but I'm possibly saving my eyesight to that. And, you know, my care in Portland hasn't been that great as far as specialties, so I went in for my teeth in Eugene yesterday, which went really well. And there was no BS, there was no, okay, you got to do this and that and the other thing. It was just so straightforward. It takes a long time to get into where I went. I don't know if I should mention it or not, but I'm really grateful that I had a nice clean checkup. And in Portland, it seems like they add on all these things that cost so much money, and I'm saddened to it. And the one dentist that I had around the corner that I loved so much, unfortunately, when I went in, someone at the front desk, like some of the people that worked there weren't as nice as the woman who, you know, is the dentist, and they didn't check my insurance, and I didn't know that my plan for dental was taken off when I give a different address, and that's not supposed to happen. I certainly wouldn't even think to check that, because that's a pretty involved step. So they didn't check, and they put me in a predicament. So after the cleaning, of course I couldn't afford the whole thing, and so I couldn't go back there. And so I have someone now that I can rely on. The only thing is I have a lot of cracking in my teeth, and I know some of it's from abuse, but a lot of it too was from me grinding. And through the whole process of me trying to, you know, heal emotionally and physically through the horribleness of the abuse that I've gone through, I would grind my teeth like I was, you know, biting, like I could bite metal. It would be that bad. And I'd wake up and I'd feel myself doing it. I still do it sometimes during the day. I can feel it, and I have to really try to stop it, but I definitely have to sleep with a tooth guard. And it's something that it just fits in the top part of my mouth, and it keeps my teeth from touching one another, which, if, like, I have a good insurance, Regents Blue Shield of Oregon, and they, if you pay a little bit extra, I don't even think you have to, where they'll still give you like a certain amount of money every few months, and you can just go into like a Walmart or something and get one of them really reasonable. But yeah, it's just all the stress and horribleness of what I went through. I couldn't stop. Like at nighttime, it was really hard for me. I was just gritting my teeth horribly, you know, of all the things that, I mean, they don't stop, but of the worst of it, it keeps going through your mind. And so it's an ongoing thing. This has been going on since at least 2013. So this is something that, you know, has settled into me, and I don't see it going away. So I'm just grateful that that was put to me, that, you know, I'm really grinding the hell out of my teeth, and it's something I really have to be aware of probably for the rest of my life. So got toothpaste, $2.99 for this, and this is a big tube. This is like, was it 9 ounces? So 8 ounces. And this is from Target, so this will last me a couple months. And I will throw that onto my over-the-counter benefit from my insurance. Dow soap, I want to mention this. Dow soap, I mean, this was only $2.99 over at Target, and it was $3.29, so their prices are going down over there. But if you can't afford to buy like a feminine soap, this thing is good from head to toe. I won't necessarily use it on my face. I do try to stay away from spending extra money to buy something for different parts of my body, because it's just so expensive and I can't afford it, and prices have gone up through the roof everywhere, though I find that food is leveling off to be about the same everywhere, which is surprising. If you're going to go to the store brands, at least. But yeah, you can. Now, the reason I say this was referred to me when I had my son in the hospital. They said, use Dial. It's a great soap. And I know we're always trying to, you know, keep our bacterial situations in line, but this is antibacterial. And so I feel that it's mild enough that I can use it all over my body, even, you know, personal use for myself. And I felt comfortable with it. I was using a really nice Yardley oat bar that it was kind of sloughing my skin a little bit, but they have a lot of them at the Dollar Tree. I haven't been able to get over there, and they're $2 now at Amazon, so I didn't get that this month. So I'm grateful to have this. I use this to wash my hands in between cooking, in between doing the dishes, like I said, in the shower, so it's great. And the last thing I want to show you, and it's not that I didn't get other things early this morning, but it just dawned on me, like the parchment paper, that the price was lower and that I could actually kind of rely on a more expensive store in their brand to get something, and how the prices are really leveling off. And so don't panic too much if you live in a place where the stores are expensive. I think you're gonna, if you look hard enough, you'll find that too. Now, these are denture cleansers for my mouth grips, my teeth guards. This was only $5.89. I love these. They're Up and Up brand at Target, and I just drop them in a few minutes they're clean. I just use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, or a toothbrush that was new that I don't use on my mouth, and just clean them out a little bit, and they're great for the next, you know, night. And these would be covered too, probably through my insurance, which I don't think I said that already, did I? But I would probably be able to throw that on the next time I get these. Now, these, I wanted to get the Good and Gather brand because I really like Good and Gather brand over at Target. I think they're really neat. A lot of things I still won't eat that are made by Good and Gather because I don't like a lot of preservatives and stuff, but that means, I guess it's hard for them to get around a lot of it. But I got this for $4.49, where they only have the small Good and Gather, and it was $3.49, and this is more than double the 18-ounce size. So I said, all right, let me go with these. And I've gotten these before, but I think I paid like $1 something less. But with everything going up, this is about comparable to the cheapest stores. So I'm going to stay with this, and that's a Safeway Signature brand. So I'm going to make my granola bars with that, and now I have this to make cheese and granola bars. I've got all my smoothie stuff. I've got a one-day recipe thing with salmon. Now, the reason I think that's important too is that I try to get fish at least a couple times, or at least once a week, because Mercury I watch from. But Jumbo Lumbo, that's going to be good for a kind of lumped in fettuccine thing. You know, for $2.39, if you just want to get one can and, you know, throw a recipe together and give your family just a little bit of, you know, of what's in the fish. I mean, maybe you can get 2 cans for family, make the whole recipe, I suppose. But I mean, I'll get at least 2 or 3 servings out of this recipe, where it's probably a 5 or 6 recipe thing. And you know, it's a recipe I'm cutting half. I'm getting my fish in for the week, and I'm going to do an Instant Pot chicken and rice, which I'll probably share at loriinthekitchen.blogspot.com at some point the rest of this month. And that's another thing that I found that's really easy. I sign up for recipes from allrecipes.com, and they're one of my favorite places. I love when the brand names like Betty Crocker and McCormick have good recipes that have, you know, good ingredients that I can use in my home. Sometimes they'll even have the packets that I will buy that have nothing bad in it. And I really search. It's not like I can find one of the other brand names that will have something that I'm going to use all of. I mean, I certainly won't buy Bisquick because there's so much stuff in there I just won't eat. I'll make my own Bisquick. And a lot of this stuff is hard. So, I mean, I get tired too. I understand that. But I made it easy getting my fish in this week by doing that one recipe from Spain on a fork. And I'll put some in the freezer for another couple weeks probably if I just do it once a week. You know, I've got an Instant Pot recipe for tomorrow. If I get the big thing of the chicken broth, I'll you know, freeze little cups of it, half cups of it for the half amount of a recipe that I'm doing for the Instant Pot one, for instance. And I'll use that instead of wine. Like in Spain on a Fork, his recipe, he'll use wine. When they ask for wine, I just put in chicken broth. When they ask for water, a lot of times I'll put in chicken broth. And I think it gives it a better flavor. So I'm on to cooking and baking again today. And I hope some of what I said has been helpful to you. So take care. Lori Jean Finelli, Women's Station Channel.